Welcome to our final community call of 2022. We always try to have fun in this one, and we do have some good plans, but we do have some updates we want to get to. So I'm going to start with that. As I mentioned, this will be it for 2022. We'll be off next week and January 3rd as well. We will restart again on January 10th with kind of a look at where we're going in 2023. So this calendar invite will go away. You will get a new invite probably that first week of January. That was a little hit or miss, if my memory serves, this year, especially with the Janssen people. For some reason, it just wouldn't go through. So if you don't get it, check the community calls page at the start of the year. The new link will be embedded in there as well. But hopefully everybody will get it. It'll be smoother this year. But new link coming that week of January 3rd, next call January 10th. Okay, for this call, so we have a sense of what we're doing. We have some updates. We have some games, the diagram challenge announcements, and at the end we're going to do another gift of thanks session. So I do hope you'll join today with some ideas of people that you want to thank for either their personal or professional contributions this year. The goal is to thank as many different people as possible. So once somebody has been thanked, they are off the list. It's a little tough to police, and it fell apart last year, but let's just try to keep it going this year. So once somebody's been thanked, you have to go to your next person on your list. So have some options. We'll just do it at the end of this call. Okay, a few shout outs. Mainly, we're going to look back at the year in review. Since there was no real paper put out this year, I just want to highlight that our community set a record for for OHDSI with 111 publications this year by 2,057 cumulative authors. You can find all of this on the new publications dashboard, which has really been an amazing new tool for our community that was developed by Paul Nagy and his team this year. Certainly, there are other parts of the dashboard, but the publications one has been my favorite. So you can find all of the studies from this year and frankly, any of the studies from past years as well on this dashboard. But again, 111 publications from 2,057 cumulative authors. So just congratulations to everybody in the community for a terrific year. And also, because this community call is something that I think has been, something that has been really productive. I personally want to thank. We've had 86 different community members who have presented to some level on this call, whether it's running a full call or presenting a study or work or engaging in a debate or work group updates. There's a bunch of different things we've done. We've put them all on YouTube. The YouTube numbers also on the community dashboard have been really, really good. So thank you to everybody who has helped make these Tuesday calls really, really good, really, I think, educational and fun. And hopefully we'll keep these numbers pretty high next year as well. All right, any other shout outs before we move forward with more updates? Okay. All right, we'll start with work group calls. These are the ones that have not been canceled yet. Again, like I said, the week before Thanksgiving, I would check on these to make sure that they are still happening. But this is what we have scheduled for the week. Anybody from any of these work groups want to mention anything, either announce their cancellation or let people know what's on the agenda for this week? Okay, so since we won't be back until January 10th, a reminder that there is a page that just schedules out all of the upcoming calls. So you can see the next call for basically the next 2 or 3 weeks all on our upcoming workgroup calls page. I took a screenshot of what we have kind of coming up over the next 3 weeks that'll take us up to that January 10th call. But again, there is a page on the website, especially for that January 3rd to the 8th week. A lot of people will be back. There will be meetings, but we don't have a call that week. So there is a place for you to check on all of these calls. All right, we brought back another collaborator spotlight this week. I was happy to do it with Thamir, an advisor to the president of the Saudi Food and Drug Authority and somebody who's really made a difference in our community, been involved in a number of work groups and a number of studies, and really gave some interesting thoughts and ideas about the work he's done, how he got to OHDSI, what his background is, but also kind of his perspective about what OHDSI can do for regulatory agencies and how important it is for new nations who might be interested in OHDSI, how it can affect them. So I think this was really good. I hope you'll read it and hopefully maybe even share it. All right, announced also this week, Eden, their 7th and final data partner call brought 22 new data partners from across 13 countries. So you can check out these numbers, but really what they have done has been incredible over these 7 open calls. They all had, before the 7th call, almost 200 million patient records, and 630 million patient records before over 166 partners from the previous 6 calls. So really incredible work, and congratulations to the Eden team for these 7 open calls. We had mentioned before the APAC symposium that was held last month. The full tutorial was up online. Now the rest of the conference, it has been posted. So both the video and the slides from all the sessions. So there were 3 main sessions, one led by Patrick and Peter on the envisioning of the OHDSI Global and the EU network, which includes something on Darwin, the challenges of research in the OHDSI APAC community. So a number of talks you can see there, and then the implication experiences in the OHDSI APAC region. So a lot too that you can see both from the slides and the videos. They are now all up on the OHDSI APAC page. You can find that under events on the main page and also on the link at the bottom. All right, one more week, at least in 2022, for the OHDSI Social Showcase. We will resume this in 2023. There's still a lot from the symposium that we have to share, but I wanted to make sure we got it all out this week as well. I skipped Thursday. So please do make sure you're following us on Twitter and LinkedIn. There's going to be a lot of updates on social over the next couple of weeks, kind of just looking back at some of the great work that happened in this year. So please do check those out, share them if you can. And then just a reminder on some of the openings that we have shared over the last month or so. These will be all included on the community calls page later, so feel free to share those. All right, any other announcements before we move forward? Okay, great. So on that note, I am going to turn it over to Patrick, and I think you're starting with the diagram challenge announcement.
I am. Thank you, Greg. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Claire and I will do this together, but I'll share my screen. Hopefully you guys can see that. Can you see that, Greg?
It's not fully appearing yet. Yes, now it is.
All right, very good. All right, so yeah, so the one exciting thing we get to do is announce the winners of our OMOP CDM ERD challenge today. A reminder that last month we kicked off an activity where we asked the community to come up with different ideas for how we could create an entity relationship diagram to represent the full scope of the OMOP CDM. And we got a lot of really good submissions. Is kind of a notable omission across our CDM is that we've got a kind of a cartoon schematic of the CDM, but didn't actually have an ERD. So everybody was kind of forced to create their own. So it seemed like a really good opportunity for our community to come together and try to come up with a good solution that would could be part of our primary documentation that everybody could benefit from. And it was really exciting to see all of the submissions that came in. And actually, I was particularly interested in all the different technologies that folks had used to create these ERD diagrams, many of which I was not actually familiar with. So I want to thank Vishnu and Maxim and Fabricio and Roger and Renska and TJ for their submissions. And I would actually encourage, for those of you who didn't pay attention to the thread, I definitely encourage you to take a look at all these tools, whether you're using the OMOP CDM or just thinking about how to create an entity relationship diagram more broadly. I learned quite a lot by seeing the different approaches that folks had come up with. So without further ado, we're going to announce the winners, and Claire is going to talk about why the committee decided on winners. There were two. And so without further ado, our first winner for best printable ERD was to Renska and Martine. So Claire, do you want to talk about why the committee chose this one?
Yes, so the original request was exactly what Renska and Martine provided. I think the impetus was really to have a beautiful printable entity relationship diagram that we could put on a big poster and blow it up. And that would become a really nice diagram to put next to the diagram we already have for the CDM. So this one was really lovely. It showed all the different relationships really nicely and cleanly. All the tables fit into one image, which is really hard to do. And I really liked the color coding. So overall, in terms of printable, we really loved this one and thought it's really going to look very nice at the next symposium when we can print it out and blow it up and we can all see it in person.
Very good. Congratulations, Renska and Martine, for that. And I promised that there was going to be a prize. So hopefully you can see the prize as I put it up to the camera. You've got a mug that says, "I'm the best CDM nerd." And printed on it is, in fact, your picture of the ERD. So you have your own mug for coffee or tea or whatever it is that you want. And so congratulations for that. All right. So that was winner number one. And Claire, do you want to share your? Oh, so I guess so. Winner number two was for the best interactive ERD, and this goes to Vishnu. So Claire, do you want to share your screen and talk through this one?
Yeah. So we initially did not think we were going to have two winners. But after seeing all of the amazing submissions, I really felt like it was important that we separate out a printable ERD from an interactive ERD. And so I looked at, there were three different ones, one from Vishnu, one from Fabrizio, and one from TJ. They were all fantastic. It was really hard to decide which one, but ultimately I thought Vishnu's looked the best and had the most features that we really wanted. But as you can see, the original printable ERD was a little bit hard to follow, but what I really liked about it, as you go into individual tables, there are different options. So you can actually turn on or off the comments, which is the descriptions of the fields. You can add like what the constraints are, or you can turn them off, and you can see it changes it here. It also shows you the related column. So if it's a foreign key, what is its primary key and where does that live? And then I also like to, over here, you can actually export all this information in different exportable files if that's what you want to do. And then it shows the indices really nicely. But the one thing I really loved that I felt really made this one stand out was this bottom image. So it automatically generates an entity relationship, but just for the table that you are looking at. And I thought this was really helpful, and it really, to David, who asked, the schema spy. And I really like that it kind of distilled down the relationships just to that table you're looking at. And there are different options that you can create and look at the different relationships. So I thought this was really helpful. And then you can click into the different tables. It'll take you to that one, and you can kind of keep going forward. So I thought this was the best one, but they're all really great. And I did want to give an honorable mention to Maxime. He used a tool called Mermaid to generate an ERD in Markdown. And I thought that was really innovative as well. And it's in a pull request in the CDM. And so we might try to pull that in too. So thank you everyone for your submissions. It was really fun to go through them all.
Is Vishnu here by chance? Oh, don't see him on the list. But Vishnu gets his own wine glass that also says that I'm the biggest CDM nerd, with a picture of his interactive thing printed right on the back too. So, though I suppose, Renska, if you negotiate well with me, you could get a wine glass instead of a mug if that was your choosing. Well, congratulations, Renska, Martine, Vishnu, and thank you for everybody who participated. It was really great to see these, and I think it's a legitimate, meaningful contribution that we can put this as part of our standard OMOP CDM documentation. So we will have a big printout for this at future events. And as Mark Overage had originally pushed, I think it's a very useful tool to actually support people understanding how things fit together. So this will really be a helpful resource, and I agree that the interactive tools are another supplemental way to help people better understand the CDM, which is great.
Yeah, and we will be putting all of these on the CDM website. So we're going to put the printable one out there, as well as part of Vishnu's prizes. We're going to link out to his interactive version as well.
Very good. All right. So with that, congratulations. And we're going to pivot to topic number 2 for today. Let's see. And we're going to play a little game called OHDSI Carol-oke, trademark to Kristen Koska. So let's see. Share my screen so you guys can see that. All right. So the name of the game here is, I'm going to show you a valid SQL statement that you can run against your OMOP CDM. It's a clue to help you guess a famous holiday song. You can use whatever tools you want to try to figure out the answer, whether that be using the CDM resources or Athena or Atlas or whatever tools you want. But ultimately, your task is to try to figure out what famous holiday song we're talking about. And I want you to post, not movie title, song title. I want you to post that in the chat. And the first one to post in the chat the song that we're talking about wins, and then we will get to celebrate that. You guys all ready? I only see a few of your faces, and you don't really look that excited, though I agree with Amanda that this is extremely nerdy. All right, I'm going to see more faces, and I want to make sure that people are truly ready for this. You guys ready? You're all so boring looking. Somebody look excited. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's a few excited faces. All right, here we go. Problem number 1 for OHDSI Carol-oke. Select person.person ID from select star from observation, where observation concept ID equals 4022771 and value as concept ID is 404884443. Interjoin on condition occurrence, where condition concept ID is 4063706. Kevin already got it. That was super fast. All right, Kevin has answered it. It is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So for those of you who are a little slow on seeing what that was, this was the affected animal being a reindeer with a condition of having a red nose. And if you wanted to be more precise about it, you could actually go use our source value field to know that the name of this was Rudolph. So well done, Kevin. You earned 1,000 points for no game in particular, but well done. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is a fun holiday song, but it doesn't feel like it's connected enough to the OHDSI community. So I asked an esteemed singer to think about how we could come up with a better approach to the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that was more appropriate for our community. And I'm going to show you that one.
can work in. And there is a big surprise in every meeting. OHDSI is a very nice. It has someone I know. And when you come out for something like a big meeting, why don't you have more fun and play a fun game instead of just talking? Can you guys play something in your meetings?
So that was one attempt at a song that's OHDSI themed. I'll give Catherine all the credit. Believe it or not, those lyrics are all her own. But we thought that other members of the community might want to actually try a take at an OHDSI themed version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as well. And so without further ado, we're going to ask Claire and Erica to take the stage to sing for us OMOP the Data Model.
Okay, this is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
You know, sentinel, cornet, C-Disk, conception, informatics for integrating biology and the bedside. But do you recall the most widely adopted model of all? OMOP the data model had a very noble goal. And if you ever needed evidence, you would see its real world role. All of the other models used to focus on their structure. They never used math vocab to be interoperable. Now decisions to be made, patients deserve to say, OMOP the data my docs collect. Won't you find some causal effect? Evidence needs good data standards for PLP and PLE. OMOP the data model. You work for OHDSI.
Well done, Erica and Claire. That was spectacular. And for those of you who can't tell, that is actually Claire playing the piano there as well. So that is well done, Erica and Claire. You guys each earned 3 million points for being able to do that and for singing OMOP the data model. So very good. So now we're going to play problem number 2 to see who can find our next OHDSI Carol-oke song. On the screen there. You got the answer. You can put it in the chat. Michael Cook gets 3 million points for Silver Bells. Silver Bells is the answer to that one. Well done, Michael. Oh, and Philip, well done. You guys both figured out that this was a color, and this was a specific, could be an organism as it is in the vocabulary, or it could be an instrument as it may be relevant to the song. So Silver Bells is a nice holiday song, but it doesn't seem OHDSI enough. So we had to figure out how to make this a little bit more fun, and our own Joel Sverdel is gonna give us a little ditty here. I think
with help from Erica.
With help from Erica, okay, very good. So here we go. Joel,
Oh, I forgot.
start it.
Okay, this one is Silver Bells.
Sing concepts,
Okay,
orphan.
this one is Silver Bells.
Sing concepts, orphan concepts, found by Phoebe to add. In the error, there's feeling of progress. Incidents, rates, visit context, temporal characterization, and with cohort diagnostics, you see phenotypes. It's ready to submit in the library. It's ready to submit in the library. Sensitivity, specificity. Soon it will be in the library. Lots of cohorts, Atlas cohorts, run across the network, warding off index specification. Read the summary, grab the JSON, start designing studies, and with the evaluator, you'll see phenotypes. It's ready to submit in the library. PPV, NPV. Soon it will be in the library.
That was
Really
wonderful.
hard.
Great job, Joel and Erica, for jumping in there. That was very good. I'm glad that we have an improvement to Silver Bells so that we can take that on. And now I'm going to bring up problem number 3 to see how, guys, you can handle this. We got a person and a race concept. We've got a condition source concept as also. Oh, Philip got it. Philip got it. It is White Christmas. Oh, and Nancy jumped in there with White Christmas. Ajit, I saw it was White Christmas as well. Very good. Yes, that is white. And that is, depends on your, that was my little hint. Depends on your feeling about family time. But yeah, so hopefully you guys all are, for those who celebrate, are eager for the White Christmas. But White Christmas just doesn't seem Odyssey enough. So we asked Kristen to help us try to Odyssey up White Christmas. And we're thankful for her to be able to participate here. All right, here we go.
Okay, this one is White Christmas.
I'm dreaming. Can't really see if your screen's catching up. Dreaming of reliable evidence. Ah, there we go. I have lag. This is going to be really fun. Just like the ones that legend shows, where diagnostic passes comparisons between classes, find causal effects you need to know. I'm dreaming of reliable evidence but maybe not your peers. Thoughts and prayers for peer review in 2023.
Thank you, Kristen. That was amazing. I did not actually know that you were going to bust out proper singing voice, so that was wonderful. Thank you for that. So hopefully we now know that White Christmas can be Odyssey-fied as well. And we've got one more to see whether or not you guys can think about can think about one more holiday song to think through. And it's all based off of the observation table. Got an observation concept ID and an observation type concept ID. Justin got it. Well done, Justin. It is Let It Snow. Let It Snow, which is a holiday favorite, of course. But Adam and Paul thought that Let It Snow wasn't Odyssey enough. And so we're gonna let them put us more into the Odyssey holiday spirit here. Well, all right.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, the data outside is frightful, but analyzing it so delightful. And since we need to share the load, let's write code, let's write code, let's write code. Open source tools are hopping. Our community demands not stopping. R and JavaScript should flow. Let's write code, let's write code, let's write code. When we finally get Hades just right, and it makes large-scale evidence the norm, we'll have tons of papers to write from all the jobs Atlas performs.
This is true.
Odyssey sure is trying. The Git commits keep on flying. But as long as Broadsea downloads, let's write code, let's write code, let's write code.
That was awesome. Well done, Paul and Adam, and Kristen jumping in there too. That was wonderful. That was great. So I hope that you all enjoyed that. It was fun to try to put together a little holiday cheer for the end of the year. And so now I'm going to turn it back over to Craig. So we're going to spend the last few minutes trying to provide a gift of thanks.
Thank you, Patrick. And I mean, I don't really know what to say. That was amazing. Like anybody who has the guts to do that, you're 10-upping me, not just 1-upping me. So thank you to everybody for doing that. That was a lot of fun, and to Patrick for setting that up. Okay, couple things. One, I realized a little bit ago that some people asked for the picture at the end of the symposium. We gave out the frame, and I don't actually know that we sent it to everybody. The picture is really weird because really, really wide, and it does not fit in that frame as such. So I created a little bit, created a little difference so you can get the picture with a little text that actually should fit as a 4x6. So this should be, you should be able to download this image and actually print out the picture and put it in that frame, or, you know, if you're using that frame for something else, at least you can have that picture. So I apologize for not getting that to you earlier. We just kind of fell off my plate a little bit, but yeah, so now that picture is available. You can now download that and get it into your frame. Okay, on that note, so as I mentioned before, what we want to do, we did this last year, and I thought it was a really nice way to end the year, is to just try to share the thanks. This is a volunteer community. You know, we're all doing this because, you know, we want to, you know, we want to generate evidence that helps patients. And so, but we're all doing this together. And, you know, whenever I talk to people about like what's special about the community, you look at those collaborator spotlights or the interviews we do at the symposium, we're just talking to the people at the symposium, and everybody talks about the people, the community, the way that, you know, people feel empowered or just motivated by, you know, everybody else. And so I thought it would be a really nice touch to end the year once again by just saying thank you, sharing gratitudes for what people have done in the community, either for you personally or for the community. And we want to spread it around because, you know, this could, we could thank the same 4 or 5 people or whatever. And we don't want that because everybody is doing something. If you're here, you're doing something. So we want to try to keep it where everybody, once you thank somebody, you can't thank again. And once you get thanked, you can't get thanked again. So you kind of have to keep track of things as we go. So what I'm going to ask people to do who want to participate is to just use the raised hand function. And I will moderate as I go. And just call on people, and you can unmute yourself and just, you know, share who you want to thank and just give a little context. We don't want anyone to go too long, but we also don't want to just say a name and not give any context to it. So, but would love to just kind of go through the rest of the community call with this. So again, use the raise hand function. I will call on you, and then we will, you know, we'll just go for as long as we can. So, all right, we'll start with Elise.
Thank you. So I'm taking this person off the table very early, and I know there's going to be 300 other people who would like to thank her, but I am personally going to thank Kristen Koska for having the most challenging year and handling it like a champion. So the glasses that are on her head do look like a green halo, and that is very appropriate. There you go. So thank you, Kristen, for always handling everything with such a great attitude and always responding to me and just being a sheer joy to everyone. And you look great with those glasses, although you look like an alien. So awesome. I'm breaking the rule because I think someone else should thank Kristen.
Yeah. All right, Elise, thank you. Joel.
I'd like to thank Anthony Senna for not only for all the coding that he does in general, but for Charybdis in particular, that he's done a lot of work on, because that's going to be the basis for our network study that I'm going to run in hopefully in 2023. Thank you, Anthony Senna.
Awesome. Thank you, Joel. Katie.
Yes, I'm glad I got in early because I'm sure this person is going to be very popular in the thanks. I wanted to thank Claire Blacketer for going out of your way to include me in the DQD team this year and giving me the opportunity to work as a maintainer. I think the way that you build up the people around you makes you an awesome leader, and you had a really positive impact on me this year. And I promise to make you proud by continuing the great work that you've done to build my favorite Odyssey tool, the DQD. And I wrote this before I knew you were such an amazing singer and piano player. So thanks so much, Claire.
Excellent. Thank you, Katie. And definitely very impressed with the piano and singing. Okay. Well, perfect. Next up is Claire.
Well, it's really funny that Katie thanked me because I was actually going to thank Katie for stepping up and doing so much work on the DQD and being a wonderful contributor and collaborator. And just, I had a lot of fun working with her this year. And she was the driver to get DQD into Hades, which has been on my list for probably 2 years. And Katie made it happen. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Claire. Okay, I need more hands. So come up with more people. George.
So there are so many people I want to thank, but I'm going to go, including one whose hand is up and 2 others whose hands are up. But I will, given the date, I will thank Anna Ostropolitz, who deposits her thesis tomorrow. So the official end of her time training with us is in one day, a bittersweet moment. And I want to thank her for all the work she's done for Odyssey over the last 4.5 years.
Very good, George. Thank you. Thamir.
Yes, actually I have a long list to thank people. So I'll try to have a trick so people understand who I'm thanking. I would like to thank Patrick Schwimmer. So they really did great to the community. Personally, I learned a lot. I learn even leadership from Patrick and Martine. So thank you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for helping the community, helping me in person. And I wish there's more time. So after finish all this hand, I will ask to thank the rest of people. Thank you.
Thank you, Thamir. Lin Ying.
I would like to thank Dr. George Repsack, my advisor, a great mentor and a great leader in our community. And as a student, I want to thank his great vision to help me find interesting research ideas, his open-mindedness to let me feel free to express my ideas in front of him, and also his patience and encouragement that helped me through all the challenging times when I write in papers and when I'm proposing my dissertation. So thank you, Dr. George Repsack, for your great mentorship and leadership.
Thank you, Lin Ying. Thomas.
Yeah, I want to thank Kristen too, for being a really good friend for all these years. But I really want to thank Martine. He always takes his time to explain the vast, complicated mechanisms of what's under the hood of an Odyssey package. And I have really appreciated his guidance and his ability to help me for all these years. So thank you, Martine.
Well said. Thank you, Thomas. Evan.
Well, I have two, but I know, so I hope one of them get thanked again, but I wanted to thank Paul and Adam for the open source work, the work they've done with the open source work group. I think that has been an amazing group. I can't imagine it's a ton of work to have something going on every 2 weeks, and their mentorship has just been invaluable. I think it's brought the community to a whole new level of both professionalism and excitement. And I really look forward to continuing to work with you guys in 2023. So thank you very much.
Wrong one there. Thank you, Evan. Kristen.
So I don't think this person's on the call. So I'm gonna, oh, actually, no, they're not. I was gonna thank Mark Suchard, who is also one of my PhD advisors, but Mark is a secret weapon and also is very patient and walks people through code. And I know that he has a lot on his plate, so he probably won't even hear this, but we'll have to tell him if a tree falls in the woods, it makes a sound, right? And I also want to say thank you to Patrick and the community who have sent me little notes and things this year. You know who you are, but that has been a real morale boost in tough times. So thank you for each of you who do that, because those little messages go a long way when you're in the middle of your DPhil and you'll feel like you're never going to finish. We all have been there. We all are awesome.
Thank you, Kristen. Claire.
Okay, so I was gonna thank Martine, but I'm just gonna say it anyway because I really do appreciate his patience as well. And when Peter got promoted to the head of the department, he graciously agreed to become my co-promoter, even though I know he has so many other things to do. But I also wanted to thank Roger Carlson. I see that he's on the call. Roger is a mainstay in pretty much every meeting he comes to. He always apologizes for talking and giving his opinion, but that's what we're here for. So I always want to say thank you to Roger and always giving your opinion, because I really appreciate it. And I think you're really fun to be around. So thank you.
Thanks, Claire. Jamie.
I'm going to cheat a little and thank more than one person, one of whom has already been thanked. So with that caveat, I'd like to thank Evan Minty, Scott Duval, Chan Yu, and Anna Astropolitz for putting a lot of time in advance of the symposium into running a network study that really formed a strong component of our phenotype evaluation workshop. So in a really busy time when everyone's getting ready for this big event, they took time out of their day to help support the development of this workshop, and for that I'm very grateful. So thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Adam.
Yeah, so a few of the people who I want to thank have already been thanked, but I want to thank Asia Golazar for her leadership in our data science team and just being an inspiration for me and helping me grow professionally. So thanks, Asia.
Thank you, Adam. Okay, I got myself in. So I'm going to thank Elise because we had gone 3 years, 2 years, 3 years without a live symposium. And what she did for the virtual symposiums was outrageous, especially because that wasn't her, background. But getting back into a live symposium and just kind of watching her do her thing for months on end, leading up to it, was really incredible. And Patrick and I would laugh because she would she would come back with us with the same things over and over until we did them, and we would laugh like, why is this such a big deal? And then you get to the symposium and you realize, oh, that's why it's a big deal, because that was really cool, or that was great, or if we didn't do that, like, it all falls apart. And so she was always great with us. She was always, on top of us, but with, in great spirits. I mean, Elise, she does incredible things for the community, but what she did for the symposium was really, really impressive. And it was a great event. And I think it's my favorite event of the year for OHDSI, but just being part of it was so special. So it really is just an incredible job she puts on. So I wanted to thank her for that. Okay, on that note, Paul.
I wanted to thank our Chirons. These are new open source developers who show a lot of courage and jump into our community with both feet. It's really been amazing watching them. And I know there's a lot that I wanted to recognize. Katie's done a great job with DQD, and Zach has done a great job with Perseus. And Jen has been working on imaging, started an incredible job with community dashboard, and Nate's also been helping build modifications for Perseus. So just as a group, it's just amazing to see new developers join our community and make such contributions.
Thank you, Paul. Roger.
Well, I really wanted to thank Claire, but since I can't, I won't. The other person I want to thank is Mui Van Zandt. She was incredibly inclusive in the after hours socializing. I mean, just dragging people along who were kind of like me, who were kind of, sort of on the margins and not sure if they should join in, and she just dragged everybody along, and we had a good time. And that was very, very helpful for me, and I think for my colleagues too. So thanks, Mui.
Thank you, Roger. Asya.
Okay, I am going to cheat because that's not going to be one person. Well, first, I want to thank the community for the greatness and all the energy it's giving us. But very specifically, I want to thank some of the folks behind the scene, Vlad Korsik, Varvara Savitskaya, Nadia Kadakova, and Alex Davidov, who's been working a lot of hours to help us do the work on the most untrivial thing of dealing with the genomic vocabulary and building new tools who can help with both vocabulary and ETL. Very thankful to be able to work with them.
Thank you, Asya. Guy.
Even Minty, who stayed up late until 2 a.m. in the morning to present the OHDSI journey to our professor in our hospital network in Israel. And it was awesome and great response from the audience.
Thank you. Anna.
So I want to also thank two people, Greg for being absolutely awesome. And I would not even describe all the things where you're awesome, you're just awesome. And I want to thank Patrick for the absolutely most amazing rap that I've heard in 2022. What you've done, I think I listened to that video for like 20 times or something. That was absolutely the highlight.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you. I appreciate that. I wanted to do one more, and it's a couple people, but one of the big efforts for Odyssey this year was working with our work groups and collaborating and bring them together and all that. And Paul and Elise, a lot of people did a lot of work with leadership forums, but a big aspect is actually creating new work groups and chapters. And we had some new work groups and chapters formed this year. So it was Dr. Vikram, Swaitha, Lakshmi, Shyamli, and Gridar. I hope I pronounced that all right. They were instrumental in starting the new India chapter this year. Robert Koski, who is leading our new dentistry work group, and Jenna and Ross, who brought back the prediction work group. I think it's really exciting to see people or groups taking on these initiatives and leading new work groups, and chapters, of course. So thank you to them. Kristen.
Right, I'm cheating and getting back in line, but I haven't heard anyone mention this one. The early research group, you mentioned a couple of them, Craig, but the whole bucket of you who are newer and finding your way are so welcome and so exciting. And I know Faiza and Ross and a lot of the Erasmus students have helped lead some awesome exercises this year. So thank you for doing that, Jacob and other folks. Super, super valuable. I wish I knew all your names, but I know that there's it's like a kid in a trench coat. You're all hiding under Faiza and Ross's faces. I know it.
Maxim.
Yeah, I want to thank Tina Parsiak for taking over the registry working group and actually reviving it with a renewed interest. It has been great so far.
Thank you, Maxim. Yeah, Tina did a great job there as well. Anybody else? There were a couple of people, I think, in the chat as well. I know somebody had to leave early, but they thanked Ajit. Ajit, obviously a Titan Award winner for community collaboration, so that's a very fitting one. All right, so thank you for all this. I know I see in the chat how much these things mean to people, and it just shows kind of the connection that this community has with each other, and it's a big reason why so much gets done. So much gets done because we like working with each other, and we respect each other, and we help each other, and we share credit instead of trying to take credit. So I think it's really wonderful. Thank you to everybody. I'm going to turn this over to Patrick because he didn't raise his hand for a reason, and I'm pretty confident of that. So, but thank you to everybody for all the work that you did. Thank you for making these calls special. Thank you for when I call on you and say, hey, can you do something on Tuesday? You do it, and you do it really well, and you make it fun. So thank you to everybody. And on that note, I will give Patrick the last word of 2022, but Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everyone.
Great, thank you, Craig. Yeah, I want to thank everybody. It's been a wonderful year. It's amazing to see all the progress we're making as a community. It's also really fun just to see how we're able to create a community and work together and accomplish meaningful things, but also do it in a way that's worthwhile and fun. And it makes getting up and working not feel like work, but really feel like having a purpose and having something that's worthwhile doing. I do hope that everybody takes some holiday time to rest and relax and recharge. I'm really looking forward to collaborating with all of you in 2023. We've made a lot of good progress, but there's still a lot more work to be done. We've created the world's largest data network, but we haven't answered all the questions that patients are waiting for. And so we need to continue to move forward on that. I can't read what you're holding up there, Renska. Ah, Merry Christmas. Very nice. So I really hope that everybody has a wonderful holidays. And I really look forward to working with all of you in 2023. I do want to thank Craig for doing a great job this year in keeping us kind of to task with everything. He's done a wonderful job in stretching out beyond what he needed to do originally, but it's been really wonderful to see our community come together. I want to thank you for that, Craig. But for everybody, I really hope that you have a really good break and come back renewed and recharged and ready to collaborate actively as we try to generate reliable evidence to help patients around the world. So thank you all very much. Have a happy holidays.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Wait, one more thing, because some people are mentioning this in the chat. I figured this is probably the way to end the year. So let's go to the
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome when we live in our dream. Everything is better when we stick together. Side by side, you and I gonna win forever. Let's party forever. We're the same, I'm like you, you're like me. We're all working in harmony. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome when we live in our dream.
3, 2, 1, go. Have you heard the news? Everyone's talking. Life is good cause everything's awesome. Lost my job, that's a new opportunity. More free time for my awesome community. I feel more awesome than an awesome possum. Dip my body in chocolate frosting. 3 years later I shot the frosting. Smelling like a blossom, everything is awesome. Stepped in mud, got new brown shoes. It's awesome to win and it's awesome to lose. Awesome to lose.
Everything is better when we stick together. Side by side, you and I gonna win forever. Let's party forever. We're the same, I'm like you, you're like me. We're all working in harmony. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome when we live in our dreams.
Blue skies, bouncy springs. We just named 2 awesome things. A Nobel Prize, a piece of string. You know what's awesome? Everything. Yours is please. Allergies, a book of Greek antiquities. Brand new pants, a very old vest. Awesome items are the best. Trees, drums, clogs, they're awesome. Rocks, clocks, and socks, they're awesome. Figs and jigs and twigs, that's awesome. Everything you see or think or say is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of the team. Everything is awesome when we live in our dream. You're like me, we're all working when we stick together.
Have you heard the news? Everyone's talking. Life is good because everything's awesome. Each work group gives a great opportunity to make contributions to our awesome community. Healthcare data across 6 continents, more OMOP countries than we've got continents. South Korean, European, India, Africa, Latin America, China, Japan, Australia, Singapore. Odyssey's awesome and we can do even more.
Everything is better when we stick together. Side by side, you and I gonna win forever. Let's party forever. We're the same, I'm like you, you're like me. We're all working in harmony. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when we're living our dreams.
CDM, DQD, we just named 2 awesome things. Atlas, Hades, PLP, open source software, always free. Large scale analysis, diagnostics, building phenotype, source agnostic, calibration, external validation, reliable evidence generation, prediction, characterization, estimation, they're awesome. Legend, Hera, Charybdis, they're awesome. Network studies, meta-analysis, heterogeneity, they're awesome. Everything we learn and do and build together is awesome.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team.
Yeah, no, really no better way to end 2022. So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. Enjoy the time, and we'll see you in 2023. Thanks, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Bye bye, everyone.